What's up? What's up? And we back like cook crack.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Word.
Word.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Oh, you already introduced yourself?
Yeah, I did. I said, hi, I'm hella laced.
Oh, very brief introduction. It's your favorite customizer. Word Customs in the building as always.
And y'all already know it's Danny Nicole, aka Caramel Wonder, Tada Sock Lady.
Hey. I like it. Hey, I actually have those like in the room right now.
Ooh.
I bought some from you. Yeah.
Hey, sock supporter.
I had my hoodies back at my parents' crib in Houston. I was gonna wear it. I was looking for it earlier when I copied the breast cancer hoodies that you guys sell. I was like, dang it, that's a fail on my part.
Yeah, I mean, I would have put the socks on, but you guys wouldn't have seen that. So.
Right. Right. You need to have that might be a thing to introduce, like dual cameras, where you have like one camera on your feet and then one camera on your face.
Hey,
like
you got it.
That.
Yeah, that's
fire. Something.
Date 2/21/2021. Nobody try to steal my idea.
Right. It's documented.
Put your iPad down by your feet and enter the StreamYard like that.
True.
Word, you want to go ahead and introduce our guests?
Yes, so as you guys can see, we have two very special guests with us, joining us for today's origin story episode. You guys want to go ahead and throw an introduction?
You can start, D.
Oh, for sure. My name's Darren Smith. I'm 1/3 of the Tradeblock founders, sneaker trading app that you guys may be on right now. So yeah, I don't have an illustrious intro. That's just me.
Nothing wrong with that.
Cool.
Right. Tony Malveaux, another, I guess, 1/3 of the Tradeblock crew. Yeah, man, that's all I got as well. Yeah. If you're not on Tradeblock, get on it. You know, so
for sure.
All I can say.
And I got to put out a disclaimer before we start. I have 13-month-old twins, and you may hear them from time to time in the back, and there's nothing I can do about it because the lighting in my office is horrific. Like, it's horrible. Y'all wouldn't have been able to see me at all. Probably by nose. That's it. So I was like, man, I gotta get somewhere where they'll be able to see me.
No worries.
Right. Our kid made a special appearance for like our whole first season, taking out the trash and walking the dog every episode. So we understand.
Yep.
And just so you guys know, we are also live on Facebook on the MatureKids Facebook page.
Nice.
That was actually gonna be a question. Like I don't know where we're like being seen at.
Same.
Right
That's my first.
YouTube and Facebook right now.
What up, Facebook?
Okay, cool.
Got it. That's dope.
Hella, you want to shout out anybody in the chat?
Looks like we got Jim in the chat. We got Rice Goat. We got E-Money Shoes, not E-Money Kicks. And then we got Word and Danny, of course.
All right. We got some more people in there. I guess nobody said anything yet, but people slowly start rolling in. You know, our crowd likes to trickle in a little slow.
Yeah, how do you want to start the show?
We
usually start with Danny and her Yawl B Pressed, but
we do usually start with that.
I think we should get right into the fellas.
We want to get right into it, or do we want to go to the artist spotlight real quick to like give them some time? I guess people to come in.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll start. So this week, I mean, the artist spotlight this week is two guys who I've already highlighted in our first season. But you know, they both did something special this weekend, so I wanted to re-highlight them. Especially, it's two Black men who are business owners who are it's Black History Month and they're flourishing. We have Kool Kai and we have SIA, or FBCC. SIA stands for Somewhere in America. We'll start with Kool Kai. So as we know, Kool Kai, we talked about Kool Kai and his controversial homage to a one. You know, it's like a Jordan 1 base with a lightning bolt, his own little brand with Reeves Paris, I think. He did a pop-up shop this weekend in his hometown of Jersey City.
That's my hometown.
Yeah, he did a pop-up in Newport Mall at Kickclusive, which is a boutique there. He did it to release his red colorway of his one. And it seems like he had a line down the block at first people at the mall. but it seems like security shut them down and kind of kicked everyone out, which is unfortunate. But as if anybody remembers, during the Concord 11 release, Newport Mall was one of the places where someone got stabbed for the 11s, so they're very tight on security there. So I don't think it was anything personal. But, unfortunately, they made everyone move outside to the cold, which, the line was down the block. They waited. I'm not sure. I didn't get the details as to what went on, but I do know that they did end up collecting a lot of people's phone numbers, and they plan to give everybody a special link access to buy the shoes who maybe weren't able to get them when they were there. So I think that's pretty dope. Everybody gets to get something for coming out. So that was a success. Then on the other side, we have Saya Collective somewhere in America. They did he's Oakland based. He is from New York originally. He did a pop-up shop in Atlanta at a ice cream shop, Ice Cream Rules. Ice Cream Rules.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. That's a cool name.
Shop. Yeah, it's a pretty dope name. So it's a Black-owned ice cream shop, and he did a pop-up where he did a collaboration of his Vulture shoes, his V2s, and he did a model for them, and they came in an ice cream carton, which is super dope. He sold merch there. He sold the shoes there. He also had a line down the block. Obviously, a little bit of better weather there, but the line was still down the block. People supported buying his merch. People supported buying ice cream. I think the shop made a ton of money, and at the end, he ended up letting the shop keep all the proceeds from everything sold, which is super dope. He, made a statement that he was going to spend $25,000 on a chain, and he much rather have given the money to the shop so they can flourish. I believe it's a family-owned business.
Nice.
On top of that, he gave $10,000 to one young gentleman who is an aspiring filmmaker. So he gave him $10,000 to buy camera equipment, computers, whatever he needs to get started on his journey. So, I think it's super dope that these two guys are big on giving back. Like, they make a ton of money off the community and they give back a ton. And it's crazy to me that you barely see them highlighted anywhere. Like, I don't think they've been on Complex. I don't think they've been on, Nice Kicks. I don't think they've been on anything that I know of. And, they're doing numbers. Like, they're probably doing millions. So I just wanted to give them a shout out. We gotta look out for each other. It's Black History Month. They can do
Facts, for sure. The Sia, that brand, that's the guy who made his own silhouette, basically, right of his shoe, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Has the mesh woven kind of looking.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a fly knit runner, but he has a couple. Yeah. He now has a skate shoe, which is super dope. Maybe Hella could pull up. Yeah. So the one he has on, the pink one, that's the one that he did for this release, the ice cream pair. But as you can see, he has a pair that looks like Crocs come in. He has his skate shoe, which is super dope. That's out. I mean, this guy, he has at least 4 or 5 models. He has boots, he has women's high heels, he has clothes, all his stuff is cut and sewn. And he makes, from what I understand, he makes all the prototypes, sends it over to his factory, and then gets them, produced. And he's not backed by anyone. He's done it all himself. He actually worked with Under Armour, designed a couple of shoes for Steph Curry, a couple of other athletes. And, I think they offered him a job and he turned it down because he just wanted to build his own. He said he wanted something to leave for his kids.
Yep.
And this is that.
Yeah, that's super dope.
Yeah. Generational wealth.
Fire. Indeed.
I love it too, because that's an original silhouette. And we don't get that too much nowadays. Everybody's kind of,
right. And
doing the same thing.
He is the pink pair. I think, does he have the purple pair up still? The purple pair is at the bottom. It's that's supposed to be a Biggie inspired pair off the Coogee. The pink
the Coogee sweater.
Inspired. Yeah, they're super fire. And he said his shoes are his own thing, but they have inspiration. He's a big Kanye fan, so I know he's doing a skate shoe with a tribute to Kanye's I think Graduation album.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is going to be color changing. I don't know. I'm trying to get that one. But he pays a lot of homage to Kanye. He also pays homage to the people who helped him along the way. There's a cobbler in New York named Augie, who is kind of the first person that helped him out and learning how to, do a lot of stuff with the machines. And he gave him his own model and dedicated to him. So, he does a lot of dope stuff. I think throughout 2020, he gave away 7 cars. He bought both of his two main employees. He bought them both brand new cars. I'm thinking Lexuses. they were either Lexuses or Mercedes, like not like no cheap car. He bought a family,
That's why.
a new baby. He bought them a truck with a car seat, bunch of stuff in the back. Like, I mean, he gives back in
major way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's huge.
Is
and
he from the
this
East?
is the same.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, is this the same guy that gave the $10,000 to the?
Yep.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Where is he from?
He's from.
He's
I don't
originally
want to lie.
from
He's
New
from
York.
New York. I want to say he's from Brooklyn. I want to say he's from Brooklyn. He's from New York for sure. I want to say he's from Brooklyn. Don't quote me on that. But he moved. He ended up in California because he was in the he was a Coast Guard and he loved it there, so he ended up staying based there.
That's live.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all for highlighting them, because y'all taught me something I didn't know about him.
Chilltown said he's originally from Brooklyn.
Yes.
Got it. And lives in the Bay Area.
But it's amazing that two guys from the trenches, from the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Kool Kai is from my hood, from Jersey City, and Dev, who's from Brooklyn. They worked hard. They grind hard. They didn't have anybody promoting them. It's all their own blood, sweat, and tears.
Right. No trust fund, no bar mitzvah money, nothing.
Right. Right. So it can be done. It's possible. It's just all in how much work you want to put into it, because it definitely isn't easy. And no matter how easy they make it look, trust and believe it's not easy.
Right. And and Kool Kai on the other side, Kool Kai, he actually just he sealed, I want to say at least 5 or 6 different historically Black colleges, because he started off with his Support Black College hoodies, and that took off, and he got actually permission to produce merch for these historically Black colleges. Now I think his first drop is going to be FAMU, if I'm not mistaken. So that's coming soon. I mean, that's big. He's in
cool.
He's in Foot Action or Foot Locker?
I believe it's Foot Locker.
Yeah, I think he has his stuff in Foot Locker on the website. Like, I mean, he's going off everywhere. Like, people are starting to pick up on him, and he's going crazy. These brands are working with him. So, I mean, it's only gonna be big things.
Yeah, for sure.
The sky is not the limit.
It is not the limit. Yeah, for sure. You got to get him not that I'm not sure how much it'll help, but to whatever extent that you guys are tuned into the IG page, we like to highlight people like that in the community. So he'll definitely have to get a slot.
Yeah, for sure. Because he gets, and it's crazy because they both have very quick mouths. But I mean, as a person who has their own business themselves, dealing with customer service from a personal perspective can be a lot, because people expect a lot from you when you're a small business. So, there are people who have their gripes because they do have a tendency to kind of go off the handle. But when you're getting probably 1,000 emails a day, it's a lot to deal with. Yeah. But they handle it all pretty well. I mean, with his Kool Kai sneaker release, he ended up not being able to get the majority of the money from his shoes that people pre-ordered. So he had to fund out his own pocket the shoes to get made. And he didn't get that money released to him until he shipped them out.
Wow.
Yep.
And he said he still wanted to come through for people. I mean, probably less than 10% of the orders got canceled because of that. And I think that's super major to back yourself.
For sure.
Yeah. He betted on himself as well. So that's super dope to see.
You can't go wrong when you do that, man.
Right.
Exactly.
I haven't even seen either one of these two have a booth at like Complex Con or anything, at Sneaker Con.
I mean, honestly, they don't need it. Like, people love their product. People are going to continue buying their product, even with what happened at Newport Mall today, with people not being able to stay inside and line up for the shoe release. Like, people are still, that's not going to deter them from not buying whatever it is he's selling, because of him. He's making a good product. I haven't actually seen his product in hand, but people that I know that have it says it's good quality. I have seen one of Saya's original pieces that he first dropped in hand. The quality is amazing. Like, this man is giving you top tier materials. And he could be charging way more. He could be charging Balenciaga sock runner prices and beyond. And he doesn't. He keeps it affordable, you know.
I think those ultras were they were either 200 or 225. They range, his shoes range from like 150, 175 to 400. And I think the 400 pair came with even like a leather book bag. So,
yes.
And it's luxury leather, like, you know, the leather you get from like these, you know, like a Louis V and whatever, they're not really luxury leathers. Like, he's a person who studied materials and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So
because he graduated from the Fashion Institute,
and he personally like flies. He said he would fly to like, you know, these countries, like to Italy, and check these materials himself to make sure they're what he wants. Like, he has a hand in every bit of the prototype, and then, you know, goes forward from there. So he's not giving you anything he wouldn't put on. And I think it's super dope that, you know, unlike a lot of people, he doesn't give handouts to celebrities. He's like, if the average 9 to 5 person can pay my prices, so can you.
And that's what I applaud.
1,000%.
And that's what I applaud him in, because you see so many of these celebrities getting free product from these big brands, you know, huge brands like Nike and Adidas, and we spend our hard-earned money, like our blood, sweat, and tears. We're doing these 9 to 5 jobs to support these companies, and we pay our money, and you just give it away to somebody who has millions. He treats everyone the same. Like, whether you have 10 million or $10, both parties are gonna pay if you want the product.
Yeah, and Tank supports Saya like heavy. I think Tank is probably the heaviest supporter I've seen for Saya, and Fab for Fab and Jim Jones for Cool Guy.
Yes,
so both backed by like some big celebs at the same time.
That's wild. And I think it speaks volumes to like people that look like us getting into these positions of power, because the way Saya's moving, it speaks directly to how we would move differently than the incumbents, if you will, and the big players, i.e. Nike, Adidas. We've just moved different because we come from a different place, and we appreciate the people, and we know who got us there. So salute to both of those guys. And along those same lines, we move like in a similar fashion, people first before profits. We preach that in-house all the time. So and Danny, you brought up something about his pricing. It's super dope that he does charge affordable prices, but and this may be controversial, so let me know, but like, I wouldn't even be mad, especially if he's like delivering a premium product, if he did charge a premium, because again, like, I'm of the mindset that we do need people that look like us in the high fashion lane as well. So it shouldn't be just Louis, Gucci, Dior, or these other companies charging exorbitant prices for regular stuff. It should be us charging these prices as well, because we're buying it. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be mad at him if he moves into that lane either. And so we just gotta continue to
piggyback right off of that, like, just a small point, like Louis, Gucci, and all of those guys, they don't make their stuff for us anyway, and we can, you know, that's the first thing that they get the stimulus check, and that's the first place that they go into is Louis and Gucci and stuff, and just blowing the bag on them, and they could care less if you bought from them. So yeah, I'm of the same mindset of like, yeah, he could charge whatever, and I would still pay it.
Support, for sure.
I think that's where he's at. I think that's where he's at with it. Like he because in the beginning, I think he was charging a little bit more. Now that he has the production down, he's able to charge, you know, a more fair price, but still, you know, good for his, you know, his profit margin or whatever. So that's why he had like a good range. So, you know, maybe if you can't get the one that's 400, you can still get the one that's 175, 200, and all of that.
Right.
Yep.
But, you know, you also got to consider, you know, when you're giving them your money, the thing I like is, you know, they're giving back. Like, it's not like you said, he's not just blowing it on a chain. You know, he's giving back to people. Like, he was doing 3 classes teaching kids how to sew. Like, if you got good grades, you brought your report card. He was doing classes where he provided kids with sewing machines, taught them how to sew, taught them how to make things from start to scratch. Cool Kai, like I don't think he has a time frame of when he does it, but whenever he feels, like I've seen him do it, you know, twice in a month, where he'll take like 5 individuals and pay for their business to be legalized.
Yep.
So he pay for all their paperwork, give them their LLC or whatever, and let them go. You just got to submit your business plan. He looks them over and he picks 5 people.
Yep.
That's dope.
You know, to make what you make and corner a market and still not feel threatened as to let people to get in the same lane you're in. Like that speaks volumes too.
Yep.
That's how you know you're great, or we just great. Like point blank period. We cold. And it's
excellence.
I like to preach that there's room for everybody. I mean, when you walk into a supermarket, into a bread aisle, there has to be at least 400 different brands of bread.
Mm-hmm.
So if 400 different breads of bread can make it onto a supermarket store aisle, people still buy it, then that means every one of us has that same opportunity. We all can coexist and make our own mark on the world and, you know, have people buy from us.
Most definitely. I think we also we have our own businesses as well, but then we're consumers at the same time. And I think it's our responsibility to support not only by like purchasing these things, but also understanding that like we're climbing a hill that's much more steeper than our like white counterparts, right? So when Kai is doing certain things like helping to pay other people's businesses, their business expenses or the legal fees, you got to think about it. The white counterparts on the other side, not so speaking generally, but like they're not necessarily doing those same things. So they're able to move a lot faster. And so it's our responsibility to support that and know that we're doing these type of things in our business. So continue to gas that, because especially I can see people criticizing on prices. Let's say if Saya increases or drops something that's going for a G, a pair of shoes that's retailing at a G, I can see us criticizing that. And it's like, nah, man, he's building or creating a crucial product that's very high quality, and he does business the right way. So let's support him.
Right. Absolutely.
That's it.
So
yeah, shout out to those guys, man.
Facts. We see we got more people flooding in. Shout out to Q. You haven't seen her in a minute. I know she's been on a little hiatus. Welcome back.
What we got over here?
Where do you want to get into the questions?
All right, so as we know, we have the guys from Tradeblock here. We have Darren and Tony. So we're gonna get into the origin of Tradeblock. I got a couple of questions. So off the rip, there are three guys who make up the team. How did you guys all meet?
Oh man, so me and T, we met in 8th grade. That's 8th grade at Westbrook. And I think we immediately struck a bond because so Word and Danny, y'all met us in person, so y'all know how short like our height. So I'm about like 5'8", 5'9" on a good day. If I'm wearing forces, I could probably get to 5'9.5". And then T, what would you say? You like what, 5'6", 5'7"?
Yeah, 5'7" with forces.
With the forces, right? Right.
Maybe.
And so
that's
like
my height.
okay. Short people club. And so you gotta imagine in 8th grade, we had to be standing 4'2", 4'3" a piece.
And I was tiny, miniature.
We were small, but we were fly. And so that's where the bond immediately struck. Like we were the shortest cats on campus, but like everybody knew us. We were super popular. We played sports. And so yeah, it was just an immediate connection there. So and then T was into shoes. And so it got me into it. But then Mbiyimoh, who isn't here, our third co-founder,
I think he just jumped in the chat.
Yeah.
Where you at? Southeast Houston, stand up. Let's go. So that's our third co-founder. He and I actually met in 6th grade. I was in 6th grade, he's in 7th. So he graduated in 2009. T and I graduated in 2010. And so we hooped together growing up and on varsity. And then he went out when we went to college and stuff. So that's the origin of like where we met. T, I don't know if you want to chime in.
Just kind of piggybacking off of that. So like we all ended up at the same high school. So that's how I met Mbiyimoh. And so playing sports, like everybody kind of has like the same period when you go to your athletics class. And so that was a natural bond there with Beans and D.
For sure. Hey, I like Flex Chef said vertically challenged. That's it. Perfectly. Yeah.
I don't like that.
I'll take it.
I prefer it vertically challenged.
Hey,
Q is wild. You see Q over here? Short dudes be packing. Hey, that went left quick, but I'm with it. I'm with it.
Back, ladies and gentlemen. He was back. Right off the rip.
That escalated.
She looked like she did a survey of short guys. Let me find out.
Oh
Before
man.
you start acting up, let me get to the next question. So,
Yeah,
so clearly you guys have like a deep history, going all the way back to middle school. So when did you guys get the inspiration for creating this app, and how did the ball get in motion?
I'll start that one.
Yeah.
So like the inspiration behind it. So like I don't know if you guys remember. Well, I'm like a sports junkie. I love like football, basketball, pretty much every major sport. And so ESPN used to have this thing called the trade machine on their website. And so you would basically formulate trades for each team. And so like I used to love the concept of like trading, if you will, just because like you had to match up the salaries, right? So you couldn't trade LeBron James for the worst person on the roster because one, the talent, like obvious, like a disparity there, but then the salary doesn't match up either. And so I always loved that. And so like my natural love for sneakers too, like that's always been a part of the game where you buy, sell, and trade. But like the trade kind of got lost in there. And so like once sneakers like took off around like 2012 or so, like when that Galaxy Foam project dropped, like that's when like everything kind of like took off. Basketball shoes were selling off the shelf, and that's when I first started working at Foot Locker, and I got Darren on. And so like we had this idea of trading shoes like what 2012.
2012, bro.
Yeah,
and have been talking about it since.
Exactly. And so like we saw StockX and GOAT take off like, a few years later. It was just like, man, like they're really just doing the concept of middleman and buy sell, but nobody's doing trading.
Right.
And so granted, it took us a little while. Well, we started in 2019. So still, even after that, it took us a little bit to get there. But yeah, that's pretty much where the idea and the origin of that came from.
Yep. Yeah, so he if I can dovetail off of that. And so we were talking about it, like T said, since 2012, but then we saw StockX and GOAT come into the fold. And what was this, like 2018, 2019? Like, I think 2018 is when StockX got that $1 billion valuation, right?
Yeah.
And me and I immediately hit Tony and was like, bro, do you see this? Like, this is just eBay with a middleman. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. And so it's like, man, we've been talking about this forever, bro. If we're going to do something, we got to do it like now, because these cats still aren't doing it. So I know we got something here. And he was actually talking to another friend of ours about doing it. And he was kind of moving. Thankfully, he was kind of moving slowly. And me, I'm just kind of like, man, I'm a straight shooter. I go for it. I shoot from the hip a lot of times. And like he told me the other guy was our other boy was kind of moving real slow. I was like, see, we got to go. Like, and so I just started doing a whole bunch of stuff, starting the Instagram page and planning different sneaker events and what we were going to do. And lo and behold, we never really just said, hey, we doing this. We just found ourselves at SneakerCon pitching what was at the time was Astrolab, and just telling people what we were about to do. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that started in what, April of 2019?
2019, yeah.
Yeah, because that was the first SneakerCon event that I had ever been to. I went to SneakerCon by myself with my girlfriend actually, and we just did a giveaway and was just trying to get people to enter the giveaway just by following the page, and like we seen that kind of worked. Like we got like 100 followers. Say it again.
Which one was that? Which city was that?
That was Denver.
Okay.
You guys weren't there. You guys weren't there on that one.
I think we met you guys first at DC, right?
Met y'all in DC.
Yep.
Yeah, it was definitely DC. I remember that.
Because I was asking Danny, I was like, I couldn't remember if we saw you guys at Dallas SneakerCon or not.
We were there
before. You were there,
but
we
didn't
run into each other.
We didn't run into each other. We saw you guys, but we didn't get to chop it up because y'all were on the move at the time when we saw y'all.
Yeah, I think that was when I was buzzing off of my big fame from the LA to Chicago's. I was trying to maneuver the crowds.
Yeah.
Just riding the clout.
Right.
Yeah, it's always Word and then me and Danny on the sidelines.
What?
Sure.
We nobodies.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah, because I think in 2019 we made every SneakerCon event.
Yeah,
that was domestic.
Right.
I applaud you guys for not allowing the takeoff of GOAT and StockX to discourage you.
Right.
Yeah. No, appreciate it. We couldn't, right? Like
Right.
if that was our attitude, we're defeated before we even start. And so
exactly.
yeah, we knew what we had. And we talk about this all the time, and we knew the market like the back of our hand, because we had been in it for forever, like firsthand. And so we knew the market, we knew our consumer, because we are the consumer, you know what I mean? Like we're sneakerheads. And so like we knew exactly what it was. And then when we started hitting sneaker cons, that was pretty much just like a litmus test, because we were just like, okay, there is some founders bias here, right? Like, because everybody that's building something thinks it's the next best thing, or the next biggest thing. And so we were like, okay, let's go test this against something, or test it against our own assumptions. And we got to SneakerCon, that first one, and literally everybody that we told what we were planning on doing was like, this is an amazing idea. Like, we need
they're
this.
like, where the app? Where's the app?
Right.
We're not technical. We have to find how to do that first.
Right. And that's where our third co-founder came in. So so at SneakerCon Dallas is when we started telling people that we were going to have an app the next year. Granted, we had no clue how the first thing about building an app. And so, but that's just how we move. Again, we just move and like have faith. Like everything that we do is built on our faith. And so like, it's like, okay, we know we can do this, just speaking into existence. And we left that SneakerCon. It's like, bro, we just told these people we about to have an app next year. How do we go about doing this? How? Tony was like, how, D, how? And so I always tell this story. It's like, okay, I didn't have the expertise. We talked to a few different companies that like that outsource development talent. And so they were charging out the wazoo. And so, I mean, like the next question I had was like, who is the smartest person I know in my network? And that's Mbiyimoh. And so he was in Austin working for IBM, and he was there for like the last 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6, in product design. And this dude's a savant, like
he's a shoo-in.
He's a he's literally a genius. He's a genius. So it was easy. Met him in Austin, just kind of letting him know, like seeing what he was up to, trying to catch up. And then we had dinner. I took my wife out there and then pitched him. It was like, hey, bro, we building this thing and we need you on board. Initially asking him to be the CTO, but he's not actually technical. He's just, again, like a genius. So he's been in the sauce. He's been in the tech space, so he can speak that language. And he's brought every technical person to the team. He's brought them on. So the rest is history, really.
Darren's being nice too, because like he really tricked Mbiyimoh into a lunch. Mbiyimoh had no idea Mbiyimoh had no idea he was about to get pitched, and then hit him with the poison right at dinner.
Yeah, poisoned him. He had him hit. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So I think like 2 or 3 weeks after that, like he was like, bro, I can't stop thinking about this. Like, I'm in. I was like, bet. I knew, because literally after we left the dinner, I called T. I was like, hey, Mbiyimoh's on board. Like, we got him. And this is before he had fully committed, but I just knew he was in. Like, yeah, we got him, bro. And so it's been dope ever since.
Facts.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's super dope. I mean, sometimes put in a timeline on something, it helps you to motivate. Because if you don't just keep saying, I'm gonna do it. I'm very good for that. So when we give a definitive date, it's like, all right, now we got no choice, so we're gonna look embarrassed.
Right.
So that kind of was a blessing in disguise, really.
Right, for sure.
And it's crazy that this came about, because I swear in like 2013, 2014-ish, like, through me and Danny always going to get, raffle tickets and stuff like that. I'm just like, all these stores, especially like at the time, Kicks USA. I'm like, all these guys are making money off of all these people coming for releases, and they're probably buying stuff when they get their sneakers and all that. I'm like, it would be dope if these shops, because they would have DJs on the weekend. I was like, it would be dope if they open their shop up, for a couple of hours, maybe on a Saturday, for people to come and do trades in a safe place. Because, I don't know how many people know, but me and Danny actually went through a situation where we got robbed. Thankfully, not like no weapons or anything. It was just some kids who basically kind of snatched and ran back during the, what do we call them, the tax money 12s.
Yep, the Master
12s. So at the time, they were doing this scam on, what was it, Let Go? Or
no, it was Offer Up.
Offer Up, sorry. So Offer Up. So they were hitting up people, telling them to meet up, and then they would kind of just snatch and run. So we had that situation, and when we ended up talking to the police, they actually had a task force for the amount of theft for robberies.
For that particular show.
And so at that point, I was just like, somebody needs to do something where you can have a safe environment to go and trade shoes, because you don't always want to go buy something. Sometimes you want to trade. So, you know, we need a safe space because people are getting killed. And then, you know, look at a few years later, along comes your app, which is perfect.
Dream come true, huh?
Yes.
Yep. For sure. All right, so based off, you know, that we met you guys at a sneaker show, how many sneaker events would you guys say you actually attended, and what was your craziest experience?
Okay.
How many?
Yeah. So we went to one pretty much every month of 2019.
Minimum of 2, because we weren't just hitting sneaker con. So we did every sneaker con domestically, obviously, which they were having those every month. But then we would find at least 1 or 2 like one-off sneaker events. So like Boston Got Soul, Oklahoma Complex Con. So yeah, we were on the move. So the number, I can't tell you the number. It's definitely double digits, high double digits. But
at
then
least,
definitely putting in that
I
work.
would say under 20, but like for sure more than like 12.
So a lot of networking.
For sure. And then the craziest experience. So I think this is twofold actually.
We got 2 crazy ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So are you thinking Boston or Chicago?
Both. That's what I'm thinking.
Tell them both.
Okay, so Chicago, we had a couple like wild moments, I guess. Chicago just started off like super rough for everybody involved. Like my flight got like delayed like, I don't know, 10 times on the way there. So like I didn't get into Chicago until like maybe 12 at midnight. And then like for whatever reason they had a lot of traffic on the freeway at 12 midnight. And so it took another hour and a half to get to my hotel. And then I think at like 3 or 4 in the morning, Darren like got stuck at the airport, if I'm not mistaken.
Stuck at the airport because the bus, like, was it I think it was the rental car places were closed at this particular Chicago airport. And so like I got there right after midnight. They closed at midnight. And so my flight was scheduled to land at like 11 something, but then it was delayed. And so I get there at like 12, and then I ordered an Uber. So, okay, rental car out of the question, right? And so then I ordered an Uber, and the Uber, for whatever reason, where I was at, they came and he was texting me saying, "Hey, I'm outside." I was like, "Bro, you're not outside. Like, I'm outside, right?" Like, and he was like, "No, I'm." And he was telling me where he was at, and I was like, "No, you're not where you're saying you're at." So I don't even know if the Uber actually ever came. And then I tried Lyft, same thing. And so I was like, "Bro, what is up with this?" And so I ended up taking a nap like in the rental car place, heated. And so they opened back up at like 6 a.m., 5 or 6 a.m. So I had to wait. Then I finally got the rental car, pulled up at the hotel, pissed. And T was like, "Bro, you straight?" I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm not." I don't want to talk right now.
Yeah, exactly. So Chicago got off to like a super rough start, right? And so then like we go up to Complex Con, and like we're like, one thing that we were kind of expecting Complex Con to be was like a group full of sneakerheads, right? But Complex Con is more like kind of like the tastemakers, I guess you will, or influencers. It's like whatever you want to call these people that think they're famous on IG. But so they weren't like kind of receptive to like us doing a giveaway or anything like that, because they didn't care anything about the shoes really. They were just there to be seen or like to do their YouTube videos. And so like the whole first day was kind of like, okay, like we're talking to a bunch of stuck up people. Granted, we met we met a few cool people like while we were out there and like built that network, but like it was terrible in the sense of like why we actually came there. So the second day, I don't know if you guys like knew about the Nike doing that yellow fog release.
Yeah,
but it was only
Flashy Girl hit on them.
Yeah, so like Nike is obviously some bullies. I love Nike, but they're bullies. Like they waited till Allen Iverson and were doing like the full size run interview at Complex Con, and then dropped the Fear of God thing, and like everybody came running out of the event hall. The event center.
Respectful.
and like ran outside to like go to the pickup location.
It was like Lion King. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So like, meanwhile, me and Darren are at, what was the name of that pizza place in Chicago? Giordano's?
Giordano's? Is it Giordano's?
Yeah, like whatever their like famous pizza places. Like, so we're eating there, and my boy like has like the drop on when it's gonna like actually drop, and so like we were waiting on that release, and we were eating, and we finished eating. We sitting in the car, and like we were just gonna sit there until it happened, and then I guess it's like the drop happened a lot faster than we expected, and so like we're in the middle of downtown Chicago, and we're probably like 10 minutes or so away from the convention center.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we like, I was like, D, it dropped. And he was like, oh, and turned on the car.
My phone. Because I didn't want to miss out on it either. So he was in the passenger, obviously. So I threw him my phone. I was like, bro, log into mine and try to hit for me while I drive. And so this is my first time in Chicago. I think yours too, T. So we don't know where we're going. But he's trying to hit, and we can't pull up GPS. And so and so I remembered how to get back to the convention center at least. And so
we couldn't win until we got into the vicinity of where the pickup was. So like we were watching pairs go away on the sneakers app as we were driving like to the spot. And so it was just like a lot of anxiety and a lot of red lights being ran.
Wow.
Yeah, I ran like legitimately 8 red lights. Like legitimately like gone. Oh man, I felt like a stand, but I was like, hey, the things we do for sneakers, man. Right. It was crazy. And so we pull up and we get on Main Street, and I don't know if it's called Main Street, but we get on the Main Street where the drop was, because it was like at a hotel, like right at the entrance of the parking garage. And then we immediately to our left, we see a stampede of people running from Complex Con to the drop, like to the area. Like, and that's what when T was saying earlier, like it was like Lion King, you know, when Simba's in the little impasse and like the antelope are coming. It was crazy. Like people just rushing.
Like people getting ran over, trampled on. Like it was pretty insane. Like to see that many people running at one spot.
Stupid. And so
luckily we hit on both though.
Yeah, we hit on both. So I skirt over, and then I say, T, jump out, take my phone. And so I find a parking spot. And meanwhile, I don't know where T is in the whole mix. And then I would say probably like 10 minutes goes by. He comes back and he's smiling. So I know he hit. I know he got a good news. And so he shows me his phone, and I was like, bro, dang, that's dope. But I guess I didn't hit. And then he pulls my phone out. Bam, got him. Like, let's go. And the crazy part about that was my phone auto locked on him. But earlier, as fate would have it, earlier that day in the hotel before we left, for whatever reason, he had to ask me for my code, my passcode. And I don't know how he did it, but he remembered that joint to get back in it, to hit on the fog. So it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. Pretty lucky for sure. Like I just started throwing numbers together. I was like, oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yeah, that was a wild one. Oh yeah, Dean, you could tell them. And then we thought we was getting shot at when we was getting ice cream that night, but that's like,
yeah.
You thought you were getting shot at?
We was panicking.
Yeah,
we was in the middle of Southside Chicago.
Southside Chicago. We not from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then everybody knows like the legend of. Now I don't want to even call it a legend because people are like getting killed out there every day. Right. But like, we're not from there. We don't know like where we're at exactly and stuff like that. And so we hear what sounds like fireworks. And I'm at the stoplight. And I'm like,
because it's broad day.
Broad daylight. And the fireworks were super loud and super close. And it could have been gunshot. I don't know. And like they going off, and me and T just started panicking. I was like, oh, where do I go? Because we at the red light. I'm like, bro, we out of here.
That was probably the ninth red light ran in Chicago that weekend.
For sure. It was pretty wild.
And then Boston got sold us like we were sleeping in the car. Because we was running low on funds, and this was probably like our 11th event that year. So it was like, nah, we're not paying for another hotel. So
can't afford it.
We just found a spot in Boston, like next to a church. So we thought we was good. And then Man.
But ain't nobody gonna rob nobody at a church, right?
Right.
By the Lord.
Yeah,
We covered by the Lord. Exactly. We said a little prayer before we got some shut eye, but then it seemed like it was a nice like area during the day because we had been in the general vicinity like all day. And so we were like, and then so generally a nice area, and then we're at a church, so we should be straight, you know what I mean? And then I would say around like 10, 11 o'clock, like it got spooky real quick. Crackheads coming out, police sirens, like people knocking on the window. We was like, and it was funny because I was laying in the back and T was in the front, kind of laid out like on the passenger side. And like we heard the knocking, and I was like, T, you gonna get that? like, nah, bro.
I'm laid back like, nah, bro. I'm not moving.
I'm not moving. We stuck. We laid out. We're like, nah, bro. Nah, they're gonna have to come in here and get us, bro. I'm not looking up, nothing.
I must be a light-skinned dude to open the door.
Exactly. Oh man.
Yeah,
crazy times, man. Crazy times.
When you people use this app, keep in mind the things they went through for y'all.
Exactly.
That's dedication.
Yeah, man. Some interesting nights for sure.
Right. So piggybacking off of all the shows attended, you guys also implemented another thing, which is how me and Danny actually got to meet the whole team, Operation White Gloves. So how did that come about?
That was Darren's idea, actually.
No,
yeah.
Come on. You had a valid excuse though. It's okay.
Right. No, it was a team effort because we were just trying to think of it's part and parcel because Mbiyimoh being like obviously on the tech side and the product guy, one of the things that he thought about was like how do we make this experience like more immersive when like from the jump? Because let's say we didn't do Operation White Glove and we didn't have any shoes on the platform, then like not saying that you guys wouldn't have been on it, but it would have been very desolate, like a barren experience. Like when you got in, it's like, okay, where are the shoes at? What am I supposed to do? And so we were like, how do we get shoes on the app ahead of time? So those our initial beta users have like this immersive experience, and it's like very indicative of what we want it to be for, like the type of experience that we want it to be for them. And we came up with Operation White Glove, and the idea was just to I think we're very community driven, and so we love interacting with our people, and so that was an aspect of it, just getting out in the community, getting out and meeting the people, touching the people so that they could actually meet us. Then there was another aspect of it, is just like that storytelling aspect. So if you guys remember, like we were recording it as well. Yeah. And so it was an opportunity for us to like create content around us meeting you guys. And then it was strategic as well, because obviously we knew you guys, but there were more people that we wanted to do it for that we didn't know and hadn't met us yet. And so by us doing it with y'all posting it to y'all's page and us posting it to ours, it then kind of broke that barrier, broke that wall.
Realness.
Yeah, brought a realness to it, and it humanized us, because at the time, if you guys remember, we were still Astrolab, and our avatar on IG was Ace, the astronaut. And so
we didn't have any pictures of ourselves on there. Like it was just shoes. Like nobody knows what's behind Astrolab, and so it's like, hey, can I come to your house and look at your shoes? You're like,
no, bro. What kind of question is that, bro? And so we knew like that was a barrier that we needed to get over. So this was a way of strategically doing that, while also having that human interaction, that social component of like meeting you guys, because like. One problem that we have is people, I believe, is like our obsession with celebrity and popularity. And it's like the dopest people in the world aren't famous. Like when you think about it, like it's just your everyday people that you meet and get to chop it up with are super dope, doing way doper things than the people that are on IG with 1 million followers and stuff like that. Right. And so that's what we were super adamant and intentional about doing, is like not only meeting these people face to face, but then just kind of cultivating that relationship. And so this is deeper than sneakers with you guys. Like we want to support and gas anything that y'all are doing, business and personal. So it's just super dope.
And I think that's the reason I got into it. Like, it was dope when you guys brought the idea. I was like, oh, for sure. And was it your first time on the East Coast?
Yeah, well, so that was my second time in New York, but I had never been during the winter.
Right.
And so when we drove to PA, like, yeah, man, they tried to have us stuck in Word's house, man.
They were and it started snowing. And mind you, Tony has no coat.
Yeah, it was wild.
No coat. It's snowing. Like, they come to the door in the morning, and I'm just like, that's all y'all wearing right now? Like,
yeah, man.
Like, it's January, it's cold, we supposed to get
They
snow.
were not prepared.
Yeah,
I wasn't prepared enough.
And the irony is, like, Mbiyimoh should have known better because he went to Dartmouth. So he's been on the East Coast, but I guess they just, I don't know if they let their excitement get the best of them.
You know, when you're in the car, you're just like, I'm gonna be
exactly. Yeah, I only had the hoodie on, and then it was way colder than just a hoodie.
Start hitting different, yeah.
Yeah. I can get away with a hoodie like in the winter in Texas and be okay. Not out there though. I need gloves, a beanie, all of that.
For sure.
So so with that said, about how many different sneakerheads would you guys say collections you documented or visited?
So we did you guys, we did Joy, did Drew. So I want to say like 4 or 5, and then COVID hit.
Yeah, like we had a full slate, and I see Q the Queen in the comments. She like, shout out to her because she gave us the okay. Like she was on our list of people to hit. We had a full slate. We were gonna hit Malveaux, Q the Queen. Right. Shoot, y'all.
Yeah, right. I was word over there talking like we didn't get all of this stuff. Like,
yeah, we
was clocking in for 36 hours straight and still didn't get all of their inventory.
Because I was like, you want me to get the stuff from upstairs? They was like, upstairs.
Nah. This is good enough. This gets the job done. You can do that yourself when the app comes.
I would like to think that between me and Danny's collection, we filled up a lot of the Tradeblock inventory.
Y'all did, man. Shout out to y'all. Like, man, super
literally
grateful.
But also,
that was like 400 or 500 shoes, man. That was
and definitely what you're saying, it was much easier. Like with you guys logging in, because I know me, I'm a procrastinator. So if it were up to me to have to put them all in, I definitely would have been a slow mo. Danny's better than me at it. She would have probably logged in a lot more. But having you guys log in, everything was a blessing and a curse because of you guys. My inbox is flooded, but
right with offers.
Like I really want to feel like, not even to be cocky, I swear I have to be the most hit up person on Tradeblock.
Well, you're like the top collector on there too. So
I'm
so you're the first. Y'all two are like, I think probably top 5 of like when you go to the collector's feed. Most people are gonna see y'all every time because y'all have the most kicks. But it's crazy because like, just for the listeners, I gotta like contextualize this for you guys. That process of uploading shoes, it was before we actually had the app. So what we were doing was like taking the SKUs out of every shoe that they had and then putting it in a spreadsheet, and then logging the size as well, because then our data guys, shout out Kenny, our chief technology officer, like he ran a script to put it all in the app. But they got like Word and Danny, they wear their stuff too. So they had a bunch of used shoes. And so
we allow used shoes on the platform. And so like except like you don't want to transact on a shoe that's used that you've never seen like pictures of. Right. So like we had an assembly line at Word and Danny's house as far as like one person calling out the code, the other person typing it in the computer, and then I'm over here taking
every picture. So we had to take pictures of every shoe, every used pair as well, and then store that data in like. It was a whole process because then every shoe had to have its own folder. Like, so with that SKU, like with the SKU like titled on the folder and stuff. And granted, we didn't know that at the time and we didn't do that. And so once we got the data, we had to go home, and then that took hours to actually go like label those back into. Yeah, it was insane. And the light, Mbiyimoh just said it, the light box. So
exactly. And
it was crazy.
That light box was huge. It probably was the size of Tony. That thing was huge.
They were putting it together for a minute. They were putting together. They had like the whole living room floor.
I definitely could fit in there if I needed to. If I needed to get in there, I'm sure I could like make something work for sure.
Right. That's amazing.
But yeah, man, like after we left, like I realized like I have more pictures of like Danny and Word shoes than I have of like my own son. Like I need to get rid of this stuff. Like this is crazy.
I remember T hitting me. He was like, bro, I gotta get rid of like when he was on my head, like, hey bro, like I gotta get these pictures out of my phone. Let me know when you're ready. And I kept procrastinating because I didn't want to do it. And I had a whole bunch of stuff. So I just kept procrastinating on that joint. I was like, yeah, man, I got you, bro. I got you. And so we finally got them joints out.
I had like 2,000 pictures or something like insane like that of y'all's kicks. I was like, man, this taking up all my space.
I can't use my phone for nothing else.
And we couldn't get rid of them until we had them into those folders and stuff. So it was just like, oh man, can't take pictures, download stuff. It was rough.
Yep.
Shut it down. So we touched on the networking at the shows, the Operation White Gloves, and then it seems like the next segment was the Tales from the Block with the homie Cassidy. Shout out to Cassidy.
Shout out Cass.
Shout out Cass.
She's my favorite, except for during football season because she's an Eagles fan. So how did you guys end up linking up with Cassidy?
Before we start that, I got a confession. I'm a Giants fan, so sorry.
But look, she got the NY hat
That's
on.
The Yankees.
Yankees, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, diehard Giants fan. Been to a couple games. So, yeah, I don't know how it happened. Just,
I think you hit your head or something.
Right.
I believe so too. Because he was repping NY before he actually even went to a game. It was crazy.
Yeah. Shout out Giants, man. We're struggling right now, but it's coming at some point.
NFC East is the struggle, so
yeah, just as a whole. They funny. Yeah. But yeah, Cass. So I actually hit her on IG through the Astrolab account, probably what had to be in 2019. I saw that she was from Houston, and then she was the managing editor of CNK, which we were already familiar with, doing some super dope stuff. And so we naturally just like, it made sense for me to hit her. I was like, hey, you in Houston, you in the sneakers, like we got a link. This is a must. Excuse me. So T and I, we scheduled something like a lunch, and T and I met her. I forgot where we went, but had lunch and then told her what we were planning on doing. And she loved it from the jump. And she was like, hey, any way that I can help, let me know. And initially it didn't start with Tales from the Block. I can't remember what capacity we brought her in on. I think it was just social, like helping us like strategize our social roadmap, like with posting, captions, different things like that. Because as you guys know, I'm sure y'all probably get DM'd like hundreds of thousands of DMs a day, and it started getting crazy on our end because like we're running operations, and so also being in the DMs, it became burdensome because we we wanted to maintain a high level of like member support or customer service, if you will, and so it's like, okay, how do we optimize this? And so we brought Cass on, and she started helping us with that. And then naturally, just her, you guys know her, she's super dope, articulate, creative. She's rooted, you know what I mean? And so we were like, okay, we need something that can keep the people coming back and keeping them engaged. And we were always talking about how do we create our own type of content that would keep people coming back to us. And then we came up with Tales from the Block and asked her to host it. And she was reluctant at first. She was like, no, that's not me. And it's like, no, that's all you for sure. Like, don't sell yourself short. And y'all see, man, she's been killing it. Yeah. She's been killing it.
Word. That's facts. That's facts.
For sure.
Cass is super dope.
You said you wanted to add something?
No, I was just saying Cass is super dope. Like, she was a natural as soon as like after the first interview, like everybody texted her all at once, like, yo, Cass, you just killed it.
You killed it.
I was the first interview, yeah.
You were the first.
You were the first interview, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
For sure.
Hey, making moves.
Indeed.
Making moves. So I didn't want to get too deep into information about the app because, we would love to have you guys back in 6 months to a year to see where you're at, because I know it's going to be big, going to be major. One question I did have that I've been, wondering about, with, like I said, I get flooded with 3 a.m. I'm getting trade offers, and always crazy ones everything in my closet is pretty much 9.5, 10. So it's all my stuff, unless I possibly get an extra size of Danny's that I put on there for trade or whatever. But I always get hit up with offers for like crazy sizes, and and you guys have the feature where it shows you, lets you tell people what your size is. So clearly there's a considerable amount of resellers on the app now. When you guys were putting together the app, did you consider the possibility of resellers joining in and how that would affect, I want to say, the purity of it? Because I'm guessing you guys wanted it to be, about people being able to trade away things they don't love with people who might love them, not basing it off of money, which, is where the resale comes in. So did you guys think about how resellers might affect the purity of your app?
Yeah. So you mind if I take that one?
Yeah, go for it. No, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, so word, that's a phenomenal question. And to answer the direct answer is yes, we did consider them. And contrary to popular belief, most people would think that they mess up the purity of it. But they actually don't, in that they bring a large concentration of volume to the platform. And so most of the resellers that we've seen get on the app, they add 50 to 70 shoes to the platform immediately. And so though they may not be in it for the same reason as you or I may be in it, they help us get the shoes that we want. And in a way that isn't predatory in terms of those crazy resale prices. So now you're like, we've kind of leveled the playing field in terms of trading. So now you're not behind like a StockX or a GOAT where you're forced to pay $600 for some mochas or whatever it is. Now I still have access to these shoes, but in a totally different way where I don't have to use my whole paycheck to get the shoes. And so that's what I would say. Like, they've actually brought a ton of value to it. And how do I say it? We kind of mediate in the fashion that they can't actually prey on people like they can on these other platforms.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you have the option to decline that offer if you want to. Like, anything that they send you, you can just delete it. And then, like, to piggyback off of what Darren said, like, one of the value things like that they bring is like the array of sizes that they may have in their closet, right? So like a pure collector like you're gonna be 9.5, and you're not gonna vary too much off of that. Like Darren's point, they'll upload 50 shoes and it'll be from 4.5 to 13. And it's like, we need those for everybody in those sizes so that everybody has, something to choose from in each shoe.
Yeah, I can agree. I haven't seen anything like you said, anything predatory so far. And being that, I can go to certain accounts that I like get offers from all the time that I know are like reseller accounts because they have a variety of sizes. It comes in handy, like if I'm looking for something, that maybe I want to get for Danny, or looking for something else. So I think they do play, and they're pretty good about the trades, because sometimes they're probably looking for something for a client. So it's not like they're gonna try to price gouge you. So I think you guys are probably making the resale world a little better as far as not having to go and give up your whole paycheck, where you can just say, hey, what do I got in my closet that this person might need?
That was one of our biggest reasons for creating the app, because like you go to these events and you see 12-year-old kids, like, what I'm saying, like they don't have a job, so they're using their parents' money, but like they do have shoes at the house that's probably worth $1,200. So like, why can't they use that as a form of currency and just leverage that?
For sure. Kicks is currency.
Yes.
Facts on facts. Like stocks. That's why half mine are DS.
We know.
Indeed.
I mean, that's all I have. Ladies, do you guys have anything you want to ask, add, interject?
No, I think that was pretty much it. Oh, other than we just need some more grade school on the app. Where are the grade school people? Tell them to load their content.
Right. And look. So that goes both ways, Danny. So we need your help in kind of like boosting that signal, if you will. So we have a few things that we want to do in terms of like marketing to that demographic, if you will. But like, we need y'all's help. The small feet tribe, like, let everybody know in y'all's clique, in y'all sneaker groups that, hey, Tradeblock is here and we're here to stay. And it's a new innovative way to trade your shoes and get shoes that you want. Because I think a lot of it is just that the small feet tribe don't know about us yet. Because we haven't poured gas on marketing yet. Because we wanted the actual mobile app to launch first before we actually turned it up. So yeah,
and we want to make sure we had our operations in place, so like, everything don't flood us, and then we can't give the member support, our customer support, our service that you guys deserve.
Right, 1000%. But yeah, anybody y'all know, man, like that would be my biggest ask. Is just like let everybody know that Tradeblock is here. Yeah, upload your shoes. Because another thing that we found is like people that is different than these other platforms is that like there isn't anything. There's like the act of uploading your shoes is non-committal. So like if you upload your shoes to, let's say, StockX or GOAT, you're committing to a price, and if a buyer accepts that price, then you got to ship them off. But in this case, you upload your shoes and you get trade offers. But you can counter or reject those offers. So you're not committing to getting rid of your shoes. You're just showcasing them, if you will, if that's what you just want to do. And who knows, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line, you may get something that's actually enticing, and then you can engage in that trade. So don't think of uploading your shoes as like this committal act, or you have to get rid of your shoes. It's like, hey, like just show the community what you have in your closet, because we want to see.
Right. And I think that's where people probably get a little apprehensive, because I'm like, sometimes I'm in there, I'm like, I'm never going to sell like Flint 13s. I'll never get rid of, but they're up there. And it's just to say, because, you never say never. Like there might come a super hardship, or someone might just offer you just the right thing, and you'll be like, you know what? Like I did want that, so maybe I'll let it go. Because I mean, I know me, I'm probably not going to let go of 95% of my ones, but they're all up there and they're all getting offers every day, all hours of the day.
Right.
Like, no, exactly. And it's gonna keep going. Like something's gonna come out one day that you might not get your hands on, and then you got 2 pair of something. It's like, well, I might let these go.
Right. I said I wouldn't, but
that's how I looked up. I got lucky, and I got 2 pair of mochas, and 2 pair of mocha ones, 2 pair of midnight navy ones, and someone offered me for one of each. Someone offered me the Travis 4s. I was like, bro, shit, like that. That has to be like the best trade offer I've ever gotten in my life.
Oh, wait. I do remember you did that in the app, right?
Yes, you did that in the app. I remember that.
Got it. Yeah, that's fire.
What's so crazy is how like often mochas get traded on the app. Like that's like probably like our like most like traded shoe. I've traded that mocha like 4 times already. So
right.
Wow.
I'm part of the problem. Yeah.
Nah. T, bro, you know what's crazy? I have to say this before we jump. And to Mbiyimoh's point, like we appreciate y'all so much, because the amount of trust and support that you guys have given us and bestowed upon us, man, it's surreal. Like we talk about it all the time. And one of our assumptions that we got like terribly wrong going into this was that like the amount of GRs and stuff that we were going to be like that were going to be traded. So we didn't expect people to like trust us with Travis Scott 4s. You know what I mean? Right. And so the total opposite happened. So we thought it was going to be heavy on the GRs, because like you're not losing much on that, with people just kind of testing out this new site. But off rip, people start sending crazy joints through Tradeblock. We was like, bro, we got to get up our insurance, bro. Like they sitting heat. They sitting heat on here.
We had like one trade that was probably worth like $6,000 or something. Like total, it was a 3 for 2, I believe. It was the mochas, the Europe off-white ones, the all-white ones, and then the UNC off-white. And then I forgot what was on the other half of that one.
Oh, I didn't know the other half of that.
No. The one side was just the off-white ones, the Europe joints, the white ones. Yep. So that was one side, and then the other side put 3 pairs. So it was the UNC off-white ones, mochas,
and a Travis Scott, I think.
I believe a Travis Scott. Was it a low? Or
I can't remember. It was a Travis Scott 1. It was one of those 2. I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh man. It was insane. And so like the cat sent a letter like with his shoes saying, hey, handle these with care. And he put gloves in his box for us to use. We didn't use them joints.
Right.
Sorry if you on here. Like COVID's running wild. Like we're not putting on gloves you put in this box, bro. Come on. If you on here, sorry about that. But yeah, we handle all shoes with care when they touch down. So
highlight what you said right there.
Which we could put Stockings go out of lead if we do this right. We deserve it.
Hey man, I'm taking a picture of this. I need that.
We as the community right now have the ability to make this app go to the next level. I mean, it's super dope, and you can put in money with trades and stuff like that, but it's something where you don't even have to worry about adding money or whatever. You just look at the value of the shoes, and sometimes hopefully people go into this without the thought of resell or what price you can get for it, and more so what you're willing to give up to get what you want, what you really love, which is how I looked at it, because I'm pretty sure I could have sold the mochas and the midnights or whatever, but I got a shoe that I've been wanting for a very long time, and
that's what it's about,
because people were not trying to let go of the mochas, and I was just like, bro, those Travis 4s are the ones that got away.
Right.
Like, no
that's
questions
live.
asked.
That's live.
It's crazy that Q put that in the chat, because how many times have I said that word? I said, with what they're doing, allowing people to trade shoes that they don't necessarily love or going to wear any longer, with someone else who has something that they need, and vice versa, they essentially could put StockX and Gold out of business. You know what I'm saying? We're trading shoes. We don't even have to worry about paying extra money, $4, $5, $600, $7,000 to get a shoe. If I have this shoe that's whatever, and you're willing to give me these sets of shoes for this, and no money has to ever exchange hands, and it's safe, why not?
And aside from that, it's like, I don't want to get, we're not going to get into your personal business about, how much money you're making or whatever, but you guys charge very little for the amount you have to ship it to one place to get it verified and ship it out to another place.
Right.
Like that can be a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you. Yeah, appreciate that. Was a crazy plug. That made me feel. Yeah.
Because I had
warm and fuzzy inside.
When I posted it, and in the early stages when I did my first trade, posting it, people were like, "Oh, what's this? What'd you do this on? Where is this?" Like on Facebook, a lot of Facebook groups, because I'm in a couple of Facebook SB groups, and they're like, "Yo, what's that?" Because when I traded,
word, not to interrupt you, but somebody showed me your post. Like you said, like it was like a, should I take this offer?
Right.
Like it's so crazy. I was like, I don't know, maybe in Houston somewhere, and it was like, "Hey, like, is this you?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Is that word?" Like, no,
yeah. Did I pull it up? It was
I was like, I know her.
Okay, yeah. So I had the what was it, the 2014 Shadow Ones. I had the 09 Shadow Ones, which I love because they're suede. So I never wore my Shadow Ones from the 2014. So I was trying to, get rid of them. And someone offered me, because I missed out, they offered me the veneer dunks and the women's ones, the green and red and white.
Lucky green.
Yeah. So they offered me that. And I was like, oh, easy. Because, I didn't really care about the shadows. So I was like, that's perfect. I love dunks or whatever. So I put that in my dunk group, and they went crazy. They're like, "Yo, what app is this? What app is this? I need to go check it out. Is it valid or whatever?" So I had a few people come to me, and they're like, "Oh, why is it, X amount?" And I'm just like, well, you're shipping it to one place. They're having people verify it, making sure things are good, then shipping it to another place. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you really think about how much money they're making. Especially depending on where you're located. Like I'm East Coast, and we're shipping all the way to Texas. I've shipped to Texas is like $20. So it's like, you're not really, you know what I'm saying? I was like, it's a service they're providing. And, they were like, "Oh, you know what? You're right." And they were like, "I was never going to find this shoe anywhere else. So I'm going to go ahead and do it." And I was like, that's dope. So, it's just word of mouth and, bigging it up and making people understand some things. You hear somebody complain, give them a counter reaction as to, hey, look, I know it might seem unfamiliar, but it's going to be worth it in the end. Do you want that shoe? To get a shoe for $40 that you wanted is nothing.
That's the perfect way to frame it.
Exactly. It's super interesting too that you like the price is good for you, because we thought that we were initially maybe doing too much, but nobody's ever done this, so we kind of can set the rules, if you will, and so to hear that like it's not too bad of a price, like that makes us feel like we made the right decision, because we didn't want to like gouge anybody, because like that's the whole point of this, is to like not have to pay these like crazy amounts to get whatever you're looking for.
Right. Look, if you pay the StockX GOAT 9.5%, shut up.
12, right? Because of the processing.
Well, you know what? I'm a heavy seller, so I'm at 9.5.
Look. Slight flex.
9.5.
Bro, I mean, it's very affordable to do a trade than it is to even buy a shoe on StockX. Like, buy a shoe on StockX, it'll say buy this shoe at $320. After you hit the buy, and you see all
500, 515.
Like,
what are the taxes? What country is this coming from? Like,
you trying to see if you're getting two shoes? It's like, did I add one in the cart or what?
Right. Like, who all these people that got their hands in my purchase?
Right.
And then, you know what? Matter of fact, on the other, I paid for that one. On the other side, I had a trade that I got offered that I was going to accept. I think I canceled. It was a trade of a shoe that I didn't mind giving up. But at the time, I was like, well, I don't mind giving it up, but I'm not pursuing the trade, so I didn't really want to pay the fee. So I just countered it with the amount of the fee added on, and the person paid it. So that's another option. Wow. If you don't want to pay the fee, counter with the amount of the fee.
Right.
That is really smart.
We've actually talked about it's so much in store for you guys, like in terms of like our product roadmap, because we get tons of feedback on a daily basis, and that being like one of the craziest ideas that we've gotten, but it's super dope. And so I don't want to give too much away, but we got a bunch of stuff like that coming that it's going to be like, this will be the best sneaker experience. Like, I don't want to say, I'm going to go out on a limb ever in terms of a sneakerhead, like, because StockX and Go, what they built isn't an experience. It's just, hey, this is where I go to get the shoes that I couldn't get. But this is actually
necessary evil.
Right, necessary evil. We use it because we have to. And so this is something where we have a social component where you can follow, where you brought it up earlier, like you're not a 4.5 or a 5, but you follow people in that size range so that you can get base something, you know what I mean? Possibly get something. And so this is going to be a place where, like, since Nike Talk, like this is going to be the best thing since Nike Talk, if you will, from a sneaker community standpoint. We're super excited.
Missing, because Nike Talk, like, I feel like those were the good days of sneakers, and this is what we
got to bring it back.
The more interaction, and I think that's what's lacking in like the StockX and the GOAT, not being able to interact. And I said early on in those stages, with some of the shady stuff both apps have done, my worry was, what's to stop them, since you can't interact with the users, what's to say I sell a shoe, I send it to StockX, and they keep the shoe, pay me out, but tell the buyer that the shoe was inauthentic, and now they hold it till it goes up, and then they sell it. So it was a lot of like things, and then their customer service is really bad, so you can't really, it's like no one to touch or interact with.
And that was one of the pain points, like for me and Dan personally, like even before we like got the app out and the website, is just like the interactions with their customer service, GOAT and StockX, is so cold. Like you're never talking to somebody. So like that's one of our main things that we focus on is member support, because like we want you talking to somebody every time that you send an email. And so we're going to be significantly better than them in that regard. I can promise that.
Yeah, that's definitely one of our like core pillars, if you will, in terms of like differentiators and knowing how we want to do this thing the right way, is putting you guys first. Like as long as we're running this thing, like you will be put first. Again, people over profits, because without you guys, we wouldn't have a platform to do any of this. So yeah, I'm super excited to just like get the mobile out, and then all of the updates that we have thereafter that are already planned. Man, it's going to be insane. You guys are going to love it.
There's one thing that I wanted to say too, because I was part of the beta testing group, and I never let go of my shoes for anything. And when I started uploading my shoes, I just put whatever I had in my closet on there, and then I started getting offers for trades, but I would be like, oh, well, I wore those shoes already, so they're no longer dead stock. And then the person was like, okay, well, I don't want them anymore. But even if you feel like me, where you're not going to let go of any of your shoes, you never know what will come up in a trade that you have wanted for years, something
Right.
that
Yep.
might have some type of nostalgia value to you. So I just wanted to put that out there because I'm one of those, like, I hold on to everything, but
Right.
you know, if something comes across my trade inbox and it's something that I've always wanted, that it's always there for me if, you know, I want to trade.
Yep.
Yeah, 1,000%. And you like, since we're geeks on our end, like we kind of try to coin terms to make them popular or whatever, or just use them in house. But there's a term to speak directly to what you were just talking about, and we call it I think Mbiyimoh actually coined it, is variably valued goods. And so like different things are valued at various price points given like what the value that you put in is, because like certain shoes have intrinsic value, and to your point, Lace, like there could be some nostalgia there. So where a shoe may be priced in the secondary market at $500, but you value it at $1,500 because it's like, man, my grandma got me these shoes back in 2012 for Christmas.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so
Right.
now it's valued totally different. And so not everybody is putting things on the block at these secondary market prices with that intention.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, it's dope. Like this is fire. I appreciate y'all for having us on. This is crazy. And I think I saw, was it Flex Chef that just created an account?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Flex, man.
Appreciate you, dog. Hit us up if you have any
Everybody
questions.
tell a friend, and
Yeah.
tell a friend. And I
Indeed.
mean, I think you guys are gonna get an influx because, you know, with seeing Mbiyimoh on with TJ earlier in the week, you know, talking about stuff, and I was just saying about some of the crazy trades. It inspired me to create a segment during our sneaker corner that I'm gonna call Bust or Must, where we present maybe, I think I'm gonna do 3 to 5 trades every episode and pull them up, and, you know, let the audience decide, you know, whether it's a bust or a must trade. And it just like gets some interaction to see what kind of trades are going on, and it also, you know, highlights you guys on a, you know, bi-weekly basis, so people can know, because you never know who might tune in and who's going to tell a friend to join up.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's fire.
I want
That's
to implement that for you guys, because I know, like, I don't post enough on Instagram. Sometimes I don't want to go down that rabbit hole and get distracted.
Right.
So I don't be on there. So this is another way that I can give you guys more promotion, because like I just want to see you guys do big things for sure.
Yes.
We need to get these guys on Shark Tank, bro.
Look, I have
this is like the second time we've heard that.
right.
But
Get
they try to
Damon
take-
or
they try to take
Damon
the
or
credit.
what's his name behind
Right.
the owner of the Mavs.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Look, I have a love-hate relationship with Shark Tank. I tune in all the time. But the thing about them is, with what we're building, so after the business owners have given their pitch, what's one of the first questions that they ask? Not to stomp y'all. So they always ask about like sales to date or revenue or whatever.
Revenue,
you know what I mean? And so they're not necessarily talking to startups, because like they laugh at people that come. Let's just say we had $5,000 in revenue to date. If we said that, they would laugh us off the stage and not really understand what we're doing. But if you're rooted like you guys are, you know the community, how much we've made in revenue has no effect on where this is going. And so they don't necessarily see vision. They just see, like, they have to see the numbers before they invest there. So that's my hate relationship with them. But with Mark, I would love to have a conversation with him like offline.
I would think Damon would know, you know, being part of FUBU, he would know a little something about, you know, the culture, and maybe know that where it could go potentially.
Potentially, for sure. But I think he would still, like, in the true nature of the show, I think he would still try to like high side us.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
you see Q the Queen? You see Q?
You right. You ain't never lied.
Run it.
Did someone say Kickstarter?
Hey,
Right.
hey, we gotta get Q a t-shirt or something, man. She been going hard in the comments today.
Super hard. Love it, man. Oh, word. I keep prolonging this. I'm sorry, but I just noticed those taxis in the background, and that's a golden age, because that's when T brought me into Foot Locker. And so I used to, like, literally got hands on almost every KD4, LeBron 9, and Kobe 7 at that time. And T kind of turned me into a reseller, because everything I was getting out, heat, and it was like I was getting it gone. And now I'm looking back, I'm like, bro, what was I doing? Had like literally everything, all of them joints.
Yeah, so like, don't let Darren fool you, because I kept all of my stuff.
Yeah.
I got it. Like when we start trying to fund Tradeblock, that's when I started.
That's when he got rid of everything.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, I definitely like knocked out like 70% of my collection, like trying to get this joint going. But we here now.
Right.
Yeah, we had to liquidate for sure.
You can always get it back. That's how I see it.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I've definitely sold a ton of shoes to invest back in myself. So it's nothing.
That's exactly. I'm gonna be on what's the show? Sneaker shopping or something?
Right.
Y'all gonna see me spin the bag.
Yo, that's funny. But yeah.
If nobody has anything else, we definitely appreciate you guys coming on. I don't know where you guys gonna hang out, or you guys gonna. I know you probably gotta get to the kids.
Yeah, you know me, I gotta go. But see, I don't know if you stand on.
No, I definitely got to jump. I actually got some work to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you guys. We gotta do, like you said, we gotta do this again. 6 months. Let's lock it in. Because some crazy stuff is about to happen. So let's make it happen.
For real. Hopefully by then we'll be able to see each other again. You know, I'm hoping. I'm dying. Well, I know there's something going on in Texas. Mickey posted it. Like there've been a couple of sneaker events in Texas.
I know they did one in
San Antonio.
They did
in
one
Austin.
in San Antonio, and I think they did one in Dallas. Like some kind of sneaker travelers or something. I'm not sure which one it was.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but Sneaker Summit has it.
Even with everything going on, man, I'm dying to socially distance with some people in the room. Like,
right. No, for sure.
But yeah, you guys want to throw your outros? Anything you want to say? Any information you want to give out? Your pages? Anything? Go ahead and hit that.
Go ahead, T.
No, I was just gonna say, hop on Tradeblock if you're not on there. Like I said, to start the show. I was gonna put the links in the bio. Oh, that's perfect. That's what I was gonna try to type in the comment section. But yeah, that's all I got. Follow Tradeblock on IG as well.
Yep.
Tradeblock.us.
For sure. Like +1 on that. It's gonna sound mundane the more you see us on in these type of platforms. Is like thank you so much. We can't say it enough. And we will continue. Like we're gonna keep saying it. It's gonna sound like cliche at some point, but we know the value that you guys bring, and so we're committed to doing right by y'all. Like on a daily basis, we talk about y'all every day. If y'all are sending in feedback, good or bad, we hear you, and we're working tirelessly to optimize this process for you guys and make it very, very streamlined and seamless. So bear with us because we are a really small team trying to build this big thing. So, but we're coming and we're committed to doing right by you guys. So, thank you.
We got you back.
+1 on that, like thank you, and like we're like Dan said, we're here to serve you guys. So like we have thick skin, so like any kind of feedback that you guys have, like send it, because like we literally jot all these things down and like talk about it. So
for sure,
we got you.
Appreciate y'all.
And anybody guys, feel free to hit me. I know I've answered a few questions like people couldn't figure out how to reject. And, I told you just hit the delete and stuff like that. Because I know sometimes you guys be busy. And like you said, your DMs be flooded. So, anybody who's on, I'm sure can, lend a helping hand. Don't be afraid to reach out to anybody who's on there and ask. I've actually had people, because my name is, the same across platforms. People from the app have hit me up in my DMs. Like, hey, so are you going to take that trade? I'm like, bro, if I didn't answer you on the app, don't DM me.
Right. That's hilarious. But yeah, that's one of the biggest pieces of feedback that we've gotten is messaging in the app. So again, if y'all on here and y'all have hit us up about that, we hear you. But being in tech for the short amount of time that we have, any little thing anything that seems small to you as a user, it's a whole nother story in terms of implementing those things. So just bear with us. It's coming.
It took me a whole 3 months to do a solitary game program. Like I was like, nah.
That's hilarious.
Anybody who does computer science, any type of programming, I applaud them. because me coming from a computer engineering background and had some of those classes, baby, nope. I'm gonna leave that to y'all.
Those are special people for sure.
For sure, they're different. They're different. Well, yeah, I'm about to go tend to these twins. Thank you guys so much. Y'all have our number, so hit us up anytime. It's all love. Let us know if y'all need anything.
All right,
For
thank
sure.
you guys.
Thank you guys, man.
Later,
guys.
and we're down to 3.
Very fun.
It was 3.
Right. Thank you guys for staying with us. Like I said, we're gonna have the Buster Must. We were gonna do it today, but we rather give more of the time to the guys. So starting the next episode, we'll have the Buster Must implemented into the sneaker corner, where we showcase a couple of trades and get your guys' opinions on, whether it was a win or a loss.
So,
okay, the spotlight is now shined on you with Yawl B Pressed.
absolutely, we got to bring this to you every time we do a show where we talk about what's going on in the communities. So, just this past week, we had Philly rapper Meek Mill. I'm sure everybody probably knows Meek Mill. Anybody who's in this chat, do a lot of attention and backlash behind his collaboration that he did with Lil Baby. It was one of his bars, I believe, on the song that fans were outraged about, and the bar went something like, "And if I ever lack, I'm going out with my chopper. It'd be another Kobe." So, with that being said, I've been seeing, people tweeting, people Facebooking, people Instagramming, our cancel culture. Always. Cancel culture swoops in and immediately starts to cancel.
Moment of silence for Meek Mill's moment of silence.
I mean, even Word brought it to my attention on what, the lyric and what people were talking about, canceling Meek because he said it. I'm not the biggest of Meek fans. I do listen to some of his songs, but on the flip side of that, when Word brought that to my attention, I was like, well, is hip hop becoming too sensitive? I mean, did the world, what happened to Wayne? Y'all got over it, when Wayne put that bar about to put rims on my skateboard wheels, beat the pussy up like Emmett Till. Like, y'all was mad at that for like 5 seconds. Are y'all gonna be mad at Meek for 5 seconds, or y'all gonna get over it? I mean, I want to know, like what's going on?
Yeah, I think it was like you said, I think it was timing on that. It's just approaching. I mean, we're just approaching like the anniversary of what happened, and I guess one tragedy can't be so much greater than another, but it's not only Kobe but his daughter and other people who lost their lives in that unfortunate incident. I think it was in bad taste.
But I mean, people still listen to R. Kelly, and he a whole pedophile.
I don't listen to R. Kelly.
So
I'm not stepping in the name of love anymore.
I mean, I really think, like, what happened to the days of hip hop, back in the South Park days, where people weren't so sensitive to everything?
Well, that's long gone. We're in a state of hypersensitivity and hyper inclusion, and participation ribbons and trophies, and unfortunately, this is where we are. Kids aren't born and raised with that tough skin we had, because I feel like our generation went through it, like bullying and all of that, and we made it through. But now you got to be PC on everything, and it's unfortunate.
Right. I feel like that. I just lost my train of thought. I feel like that people are just way too hypersensitive. Like, I understand, yes, it was Kobe Bryant, and it's tragic. Unfortunately, it's a part of life. Like, the day that we're born, we are destined to die. There is a date. We don't know when that date is or how we're going to leave this earth. But I feel like people have been mourning the loss of Kobe more than they mourn people who are in their own family. And I feel like it's a little weird.
Right.
So is that why people are so sensitive? Because it's Kobe? And I don't understand, like, why?
Yeah.
Why the sensitivity? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because I don't even feel like, arguably,
he's not somebody that you've ever broken bread with. sat down with.
Because arguably Michael Jackson is probably the biggest star we've ever seen in our lifetime. And I don't even feel like, I feel like almost immediately after, you know, comedians were making jokes still, and there was no hypersensitivity to this nature about, you know, Mike. Like, people still make jokes about, you know, the things with the kids and stuff like that.
Right.
So, you know, what is it about Kobe that
makes
the real, yeah, like I feel like he's the biggest sore spot I've seen on any death in like my existence.
Right.
So I don't know, it's crazy.
I mean, honestly, there are lots of rappers out there that say controversial lyrics, but it's been a part of hip hop forever. So why all of a sudden now, like I said, we have this cancel culture that just wants to cancel everything and run wild with it. What happened to those days of, you know what I'm saying, like freedom of speech? You know, it's like cancel culture has now overridden that. Like, if you say anything that's not okay with the masses or different than what the masses says, then you automatically have to be canceled. There's a problem with it.
Right. And on the flip side of that, is it is it what he said, or is it who said it? Like, if Drake said it, if Jay-Z said it, you know, how long will we be mad? So,
that too.
Because, you know, Meek's had a little history of, you know, his run with Nicki and the Drake stuff and MMG stuff, and, you know, he's not up there on the totem pole of being easily forgiven. So it could also be, you know, who said it. So
that too, because I mean, like, there's some,
like you said, Wayne was forgiven.
There are some stars that get passes over other stars getting passes, and it's all about, you know, fandom, and it's like you can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's hip hop. There's literally, like, people have been doing this since the beginning of time, and now it's a problem because it's Kobe, and I just don't understand it. Is hip hop becoming too sensitive? Anybody got the answer to that question?
I mean, on the flip of it becoming sensitive, it's also becoming very violent. So it's like, sometimes stuff people are saying is getting them taken out. Like, there are a lot of young rappers losing their lives now, and I don't know if it's because of things said or things done, but, you know, it's a different breed. It's a different breed. I feel like people really value life way less now, and, you know, saying the wrong thing could be the end of your career and the end of your life. So, but yeah, hip hop used to be, you know, like you said, freedom of speech battles. Like, I mean, the stuff that Jay-Z and Nas said to each other, and they're cool. Like, come on. Like, it's definitely a generational thing.
It has to be. And I think that just social media in itself has made things 10 times worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, there's so many people with so many opinions, and everybody just saying something, and this one hyping that one up, that one hyping this one up, and it makes everything just, music can't just be music. You know what I'm saying? Like, a diss can't just be a diss. A controversial lyric can't just be a controversial lyric anymore. It always has to be someone just hypersensitive or wants to be offensive about it, and then cue cancel culture.
Right. And I love what Q said about people canceling things that don't force them to sacrifice anything. I mean, if we cancel Meek Mills, who's going to be sad? Are we missing out on A+ diamond platinum status music? No. But like you said, canceling StockX, like, people complain, but StockX is still making, you know, sales.
And she's 100% right. Absolutely.
Like, how many times we complain about glue jobs, midsoles, and all of that but we still gonna be buying Nikes.
How many times we done cancel sneakers, and we get up every Saturday, we get up every Wednesday or Thursday and try for that shoe.
Me and Sneakers have been broke up about 57 times. Okay. And then they reel me back in.
One abusive relationship, okay?
They beat on me, and then they give me silver toe ones.
It's crazy to me. It's just weird.
Yeah. What's next?
You wanted to mention something about Boosie, right?
Yeah. So real quick,
Hold on.
in the social
he canceled Nike for the pink quote unquote coloring on this, but how many of y'all still bought them?
Okay. You probably just went for the pink joints looking for like let me get 10% off. Let me get some.
Right. Okay.
They're gonna be in the outlets like the Mellow 13s because people cancel the Mellow. They're now the Mellow 13s bleed. Y'all was running to them outlets when they put them in there.
Show was. Yeah, let's talk about Boosie opening his mouth yet again.
So Little Boosie decided to comment on Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey and call Michael B. Jordan a simp for dating her. If you recall, Little Boosie is the one who commented on D Wade and his daughter,
Yep.
and how he was handling that situation. I don't know who made Little Boosie the ambassador of speaking on all things, but I mean, he's not the person I'm going to get a valid opinion on any kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? Not to discredit him, but he's also the same guy who, what was it? He said he was gonna like have his sons sleep with lose their virginity to like a prostitute.
Yeah, he said he was gonna pay for his sons to lose their virginity.
Right. So this is the man we're taking advice from.
Right.
Heard you. And I mean, I don't understand. Did you see anything about his logic? Did he explain his logic behind calling him a simp for dating her?
Nope.
I think
my logic is that he could never pull anybody even close to Lori Harvey. So maybe that's his logic behind it.
He couldn't pull anybody he didn't pay for.
I think that he's just way too involved, way too invested in people's personal affairs, personal relationships. Like, if he want to be a simp, let him be a simp, whatever a simp is. But it's like people just automatically why can't people just be in love? Why can't people just like each other? Why can't people just date each other? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people that have sketchy past. So many people that have sketchy past, and your past is your past for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened before me should have no bearing on a relationship. Like, you leave that stuff where it is, and we focus on the here and now. But people like Boosie like to always chime in and always want to downplay Black love or Black relationship, and I found that's a problem, and it runs rampant within our community, and I don't understand why.
People always want to chime in. I mean, I didn't see people calling. I didn't see Boosie calling Kanye a simp.
People, I mean, like,
been in the most relationships ever.
If that's the case, like everybody's been a simp at some point in their life, then,
right?
Like in any relationship.
Hold on. So, funny enough, I'm checking my DMs on Instagram, and somebody responded to the, I don't know, reel or whatever you want to call it that I put in my stories about the situation. They said both Lori and Michael B. Jordan are wrong. She's for the streets, and he should have cuffed a woman that didn't fall in love 4 times a year, or do it in private until she shows she really for you.
I mean, like, this is where do people get off thinking that they're entitled to tell people how to act? I mean, you know, Michael B. You haven't seen Michael B. Jordan. Like, Michael B. Jordan is like at the top of the list for eligible men. You know, he's doing big things. You know, he's good looking, and you know, the first woman he brings to the forefront is her. So I'm guessing people are in their feels. But I mean, you don't know what goes on in their relationship, what they're talking about. I mean, even if they're together for a week, a month, a year, if he's happy right now and that's what he wants to do, then
let him live.
Right. Yeah. He has every right. Now, you know, if they happen to break up or whatever, I'm sure he'll handle like anybody. Like, I mean, this advice is coming from people who probably have a baby father who's playing the new PS5 on the couch while the girlfriend is at work. Like, so y'all opinions don't really matter.
Yeah.
Like, y'all ain't got the best home life.
Yeah, but that's not to say that these people who are responding to the story aren't allowed to have their opinions. Obviously I respected this person's opinion to say what they had to say on the show, but I just don't happen to agree with it, because it doesn't matter how many times she falls in love.
Right.
You can't tell her how long she can move on. Like,
right. It's
some people recover fast.
Right.
It's her decision. It's her choice. I mean, like, people think that because they're famous that the rules are different from them. They're no different. They're just like you and me. They just have money and they're on the TV screen a lot more than we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same life rules for them. Like, they meet people, they date people, they fall in and out of love, and it's just that people tend to put these type of people on pedestals and preach about them as if they are relationship goals, and they're not necessarily relationship goals. They're just regular people stumbling through life, making mistakes like we would, or like Word would, or like Hella would, like, or anybody in the chat would.
Well, I think we're also in a culture that like, even you guys, like, people probably have their opinion on your relationship just because they know you through social media, but have they hung out with you guys together? Do they know your dynamic? Most likely not.
Right.
So.
Right.
Hey,
but
everybody's
like
gonna have an opinion.
It's funny that people have so many opinions on some people and not many opinions on others. I mean, you guys are mad at Michael B. Jordan because he's dating Lori Harvey. You mad at Lori Harvey because of her past, but y'all be chanting Jay-Z and Beyonce is goals, and how many times he cheated on her? Like, hello? But y'all still got them on a pedestal.
Hello.
They're human people. They make mistakes just like Rashid and Latifah down the block. They make mistakes just like Karen and Bill from around the corner. They regular people. They just famous and on TV a lot more. That's all. They will struggle through life and make mistakes just like we will.
Let the church say amen.
The last thing we got on here is the special Unauthorized, the 3-part documentary.
Oh yeah. So tonight at 10 p.m. is the first episode in a 3-part docuseries on Tekashi 6ix9ine. It's unauthorized, which I take to mean that they don't have his permission or his input. So, I guess it's based around things. Part 1 tonight is going to be identity. It talks about, his upbringing and up to the success of his first song. Huh?
Where is it going to be on?
It is on Showtime and Hulu, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. So part 1 is tonight, identity. Next Sunday, the 28th, part 2 is Power, which is after the success of his first single. And part 3 is Truth on March 7th, which will talk about the things that transpired after his kidnapping. It's interesting to me that he's getting, not only I've seen a lot of these new artists who are getting docuseries. I think Billie Eilish has one. I know Britney Spears just had one, right?
Yeah, that one was crazy, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I watched it, but it was crazy.
I didn't watch it yet.
You definitely should.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna tune into this Tekashi 6ix9ine one, because one, I don't know too much about him. I just know this weird dude that wears these lace fronts with all different colors. So I want to see who he was prior to this person he is now.
Right. And I'm just trying to understand, because I won't deny that I've listened to some of his songs, because he seems like a little slow, but his music is just like one of those when you in the car and you want to, you got to get somewhere and you need that energy. Like, he's very energetic, so it's something you could just bop to while you speeding down the highway. But he kind of came out of nowhere, and the boy introduced me to him, and I was just like, where did this kid come from? And I think he has the records on YouTube streaming at this moment. And basically, I think tonight's episode basically says how he by himself figured out a platform and a way to elevate himself to this thing, and that was by making himself the most hated. Which honestly is, in this day and age of social media, the best way to get success is to be, the asshole, so to say. Like Danny says, celebrities only respond to asshole comments. They don't respond to the 50 million I love yous. They respond to the person who say you whack.
Truth. Yep. So much so true, because I go on, I'm trolling through Instagram all the time, and I always see, particularly
how subtly she said that. I'm trolling through Instagram.
K Michelle, all those people, you'll see all these people praising them on the good things, even down to Masika Kalisha. All these good things, praising them about, you know, the good things that they've been doing. You get that one person, that troll, that will make a comment, and that's the person they choose to clap back or respond to. I mean, all like it's publicity for them either way, whether it's good or bad. When they clap back, where they end up on the shade room. When they end up on the shade room, then everybody from the shade room, plus the people that already follow them, are now viewing their page, looking for their content, and what happens? Now they're trending. So I mean, we've seen that time and time again with Kanye. What does he do? He comes out and says something very extremely controversial, or does something extremely controversial, and then drops an album. And guess what? Everybody spins it. Everybody tunes in, streams it, listens to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it works for them, the good and the bad publicity. It works for them because it gets people talking about them, and they're getting the hits on their page.
Big facts. I mean, I'm curious to see how he got involved with the gangs, because like when I started seeing him, like I'm like, all right, this kid has like rainbow hair. I'm like, how is he hanging around all these like a little Mexican kid? I think he's Mexican and Puerto Rican, if I'm not mistaken. Like, how is he hanging out with all these like super gangbangers and all of this stuff? I'm just like, where did this come from? So I think part two
on the street is 50 Cent got a hand in that, but who knows?
Right. But also, I'm trying to figure out how he's like he came out, so everybody knows him to be a rat now. You know, he went through some things, snitched on a bunch of people. Now he's free, and he's just walking around. Like, this is probably like the biggest story, because I mean, you know, in the hood, we all know the code: snitches get stitches, and he's just out here still, and he's still doing numbers. Like, he came out and put out a song and did numbers, still being a quote unquote snitch. So I'm curious to see it. I'm definitely gonna give it some attention. Check it out. So anybody wants to check it out, he's definitely not a real gangster. That's why he keeps a bunch of gangsters around him. I don't know that he claims to be a gangster. I mean, he talks stuff, but you know,
he ain't really a gangster.
Right.
But I mean, are half of these people who say they gangsters? I doubt it.
We're gonna see it the next SneakerCon.
When you're a gangster, you don't have to tell anybody you're a gangster.
That part.
I mean, if all these people who say they gangsters is gangsters, why is the dude who killed Trayvon Martin still walking around breathing? I'm just saying.
Look.
But y'all shooting up your local neighborhood bodegas every other weekend. But this dude's still breathing.
I'm gonna share something real quick. It's the last thing.
It better not be a list.
Because
you want time out from that Valentine's Day list.
She said,
I forgot about that
list.
I'm not on timeout for no list.
Right.
You guys
I forgot about this.
My list.
Yeah, so Hollywood Unlocked shared this I think it was a TikTok video, yeah?
Yes.
About someone basically telling you how to get free shoes for a photo shoot. So clearly they said you buy the shoes, you take some painter's tape, same thing I guess as Soul Shields that we know of. You go ahead and put them on, do your photo shoot so you don't have to be inside, take it off, and boom, return them.
Nope.
I mean, I don't think they're telling us anything we don't know.
Oh, yes, son.
Right.
Talking to you.
We don't know anything like this hasn't been being done. We are all aware of the random shoes people in the culture.
Why are we promoting this?
Well,
yeah, that's my question.
Guys, there is actually, and I've been working on this, there is actually a business where you can rent shoes, and I DM'd them a couple of days ago to see if they would come on the show because I want to know about it.
Right.
But the way I found out about it was that somebody who I was following actually rents shoes from them. And I was just like, you wear them like they're yours. And I guess when you're done, you send them back. They have tiers of memberships. And I was truly shook, but I think we need to have them.
Did they respond?
Not yet, no.
Because it's funny, the Mitchell guys this week, they talked about the rental shoes. I don't know if they're the same company that you're talking about, but they did talk about it briefly about the whole rental shoes thing. So it was dope that you reached out to them because they had when I was in the chat with the midsole, there was questions like, what if somebody beats these shoes up and like all these kind of things? How does that work? And especially during a pandemic type situation, I don't know. What is everybody's feelings about this?
But I mean, if we in a pandemic and you ain't supposed to be going nowhere, why is you wearing shoes? For your living room?
Just because we ain't going nowhere doesn't mean my IG don't need pictures. I gotta look like this is me going to the corner store with the mask, and this is me returning from said corner store. This is me going to pick up my to-go order because I can't eat inside.
I need to stop the world so I can get off because y'all getting weird out there.
I don't like, how are you sanitizing these shoes? Like, I have questions and I feel like, they deserve answers.
Look, I ain't gonna deny, sole protectors were the way prior to you put on a sole protector. You could get a couple of wears and your shoes look like new. But this is crazy to go buy some shoes just for like a photo shoot and put painter's tape on the bottom. Like that's doing the most for a photo shoot. Like it's doing the most. That is doing the most.
Yo.
That's doing the most. So I'm gonna start doing when I see somebody post like a flex. I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna screenshot it and hit you up in 3 months. Like, let me see that shoe again.
That part. Let me see the bottoms.
Let me see that shoe again. Oh, you ain't got it. Huh?
Let's FaceTime. I want to see the bottoms.
Somebody get Q. It's past her bedtime.
Q acting up. She been cutting up all day, all night.
Right. He took a hiatus, came back, don't know how to act, but we appreciate being here too.
Yeah, I never understood. Like, I would love to get somebody like you said. You have a friend who rents.
Yes.
I would love to know their reasoning behind it. Like, is it a need to feel like to fit in? Like, are you getting it? Like, I could see because when me and Molly were saying it, we were saying like we could see renting for a special occasion. Like, oh, if I could rent the DB5s, for like a wedding, like I can see someone wearing that with their tux, or like renting it for a special event. But just to rent shoes, so you can be like, hey, I'm going to the mall, rent these shoes, and take them back. Like,
well, for me, the whole reason why I get shoes is to have them. They are mine.
Right.
And like if you I'll show you guys his page, but when I first saw him post about it, he said, with sneakers he's unable to get the shoes that he wants, and specifically I think he was talking about the orange dunks, the dunk lows that came out recently, and so he
Syracuse?
No, they were the orange and green ones.
The Bears? The Grateful
Deads. Okay.
I think they were. Let me go look while I talk about it. But basically, he's tired of taking L's on sneakers app, and he doesn't want to pay resale. So he found this, and I think actually I don't know if he's sponsored by them, but like he advertises for them a lot. And I think it was just because he doesn't want to pay resale on shoes, but he can physically have and wear this shoe. I don't know if he's, just wearing them out in everyday life and then sending them back. That's why I decided to message the company, because I really just want to know how they work.
Right. And I want to know how many of their pair are UAs.
I will share just quickly. So here is the website. So it says subscribe to rent over 350 of the hottest drops without spending thousands of dollars on the resale market. So they have different plans. And here are the plans. So for $69 a month, you can rent one sneaker at a time. You have access to 100+ styles worth up to $300, and the monthly shipment value is $300. Or you can go to $129, rent up to 2 sneakers. You have access to 250 styles worth up to $600, and the monthly shipment value is $600. Then you go to level. Go ahead.
So if you rent a shoe, you $69 a month, and you can only get one shoe at a time. So you can't get another shoe until you send that back. So let's say you kept that shoe for the whole year. You don't pay $820 something for a shoe that ain't yours.
Yep. And then level 3 is $199 a month. You get access to 300 and plus styles worth up to $1,200. The monthly shipment value is $1,200. And finally, $299 a month. You can run up to 4 sneakers at a time. You have access to 325 styles up to 2,000, and monthly shipment value is 2,000. What happens if the shoes get damaged? Don't worry about tiptoeing around in our shoes. We've got you covered for everyday wear tear. Enjoy them. We only ask that you treat the sneakers with respect. Please wear them responsibly. If you return a shoe with mild to moderate damages, it is all good. If you intentionally damage or destroy the shoe, please don't. We have a pretty liberal wear policy around here, and we'd like to keep it that way.
So what if I'm a skateboarder and I decide to rent your shoes?
Right.
Like, I just want to take a couple pictures kick flipping. Don't mind the missing tongue. What do they have? I hope they don't. I hope they haven't employed any of my customizer friends to restore these shoes. Right. I can't get on board with. I mean, hey, look, you're providing a service that there's clearly a market for. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a page. I guess it's the way for people who want to get into the game, or like you said, for people who don't want to pay an arm and a leg for a shoe that, I mean, it kind of makes sense when you think about it. I have like 400 plus shoes. I probably don't get to wear half of them, and then you have certain shoes you fall in love with that you wear multiple times. So you might be wearing a shoe once a year. So if you're renting, at least you get an option of the shoe you can wear for a small fee. I don't know.
I mean, so but if you pay the $69, you got the basic package, which is $69 a month, and you keep this shoe for 2 months. You kept this one shoe, and you don't wasted $140. Like, you could have bought a shoe. Like, I'm not understanding. Like, you clearly, if you're a person that like, who is getting a $69 package? One, because it's only giving you one shoe.
I mean, I would get it just to try it, but honestly, like, I have enough shoes in my closet. Why do I need to go out and rent a hype? I'm assuming you're renting shoes.
Like, I need to know what shoes they have that are available. Like are they like, basic GRs? Like,
well, I mean, it says up to like a $1,200 shoe valued. So I'm assuming they've got some stuff. But my question is, how are they getting, like, there's no way they got a full size run of Travis Jones, like
that part.
So it's like, what do you put in your size? And then they're like, oh, here's your inventory that you can choose from. Like, oh, great. Size 9 only has 12 pair that I can pick from.
Right. Like, where you getting the shoes from? Because clearly the people who are coming to you had a hard time getting them. So where did you get them? Are they brand new shoes? Are they used shoes? Are they UA shoes? Like, I need to know. I got questions.
Yeah, that's why I asked them to come on the show, because I have questions too. And it's nothing against their service. I am genuinely curious on how it works.
Yeah, I think for me, it's less on what they do, because they're providing a service, they're making money, they're a business. It's more so for me. The question is, what are the thoughts in the mind of the people that they're supplying? Like, what is making people want to go to these lengths to rent a shoe? Like, why do you feel like, if you feel the need to have something that you want to go rent it, honestly, why not just save up the money and buy it? That part. Like, if I have to go to this lengths to get a shoe, because the only other reason would be just because you want to flex on social media. That part. That's a bigger problem. You want to invest that monthly payment into some couch time.
Particularly when it's like subscription based. It's almost comes off like poser type mentality. It's not like, oh, I'm renting this for a wedding. So I would go to, like how you would rent a tux for a special occasion, or you would rent a dress for a special occasion. Like this has like a recurring charge. Like, so you plan on posing every day of your life.
I mean, let's keep it a buck. 75% of the community is posing. In my opinion.
I have a question. Did Sia ever do their membership thing?
Yes, they did it. He did it.
You were supposed to tell me.
I forgot because I forgot myself. He did it on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
yeah.
We had a show that day, so I was busy all day.
Yeah, I'm hoping he does another one. I mean, he might be done for the year, but he's backtracked because Instagram has been holding back his reach. So maybe I'll keep an eye out. But if not, we got a friend. We have a friend who has a membership, and if you need to get something, she'll get it. And she's in your area, so be golden.
Yeah, I know.
Then the people that sign up for the $2.99 a month.
Oh, Danny, all on the site now.
So let's say you keep this for 1 year. You done spent $3,600 on some shoes that ain't yours. Is this tax deductible? I need to know.
No, it's not tax deductible. It's a service you chose to have.
I mean, I'm a
necessary service. How am I gonna be popular if I don't get it?
It's a business expense. I needed to wear it into these meetings.
Right. Like if I didn't have these shoes, I wouldn't get attention on social media. Therefore, I can't become an influencer. It's a business expense.
Like.
Yeah, she definitely is. She is.
I got so many questions. $3,600. You could have owned so many pairs of shoes that you wasted on that whole year, and they're not yours. You had to send them back.
Look, $3,600 is nothing for likes and follows. Okay, it's a small price to pay.
Honestly, I feel like if your followers begin to see that you're posting content with rented shoes, what do you think that would do for their following?
Well, you know what? The only acceptable the only exception in this might be someone who is like a fit type person, like how like TJ likes fits. So if she wants to show you a complete fit and needs a pair of shoes for that fit, like a situation like that, someone who posts content about fits and clothing and accessories and stuff like that.
Use your own shoes.
I mean, I'm just saying. If
don't
you're trying to show
shoes you don't have.
So what if you're a personal stylist and you want to show people how they can fit these shoes with an outfit?
I'm not paying for well, if it's something I can write off as part of my business, perhaps, but I'm not keeping the shoes for a month. I'm going to take the pictures of my outfit, have somebody take pictures in the outfit and send them straight back, but you're still spending a huge amount of money for what?
If you put together fits, don't put together fits for shoes you don't have in your closet.
If you're a content creator, so to say, like I said, TJ does a lot of reviews on like Fear of God, different clothing and pieces. So if you're a content creator and you're getting paid from YouTube, it might be worth it in the end.
YouTube paying like that?
I mean, depending on your views.
That you spending $3,600 a year on shoes that ain't yours?
Look, there's YouTube.
Well, I think somebody like TJ could possibly get a sponsorship with them,
right?
And, it would work for her most definitely. But to me, I would think that it's giving some content creators the ability to have a shoe and show it on their channel, and maybe they won't necessarily be like, hey, I got it from this website, and I'm just showing you guys the shoe for, I don't know, just a show. But, it allows people to, I don't know, fake flex, I guess you could say.
I mean, honestly, there's so many Instagram pages with so many people with so many shoes posting so many fits. Like any business could probably scour the from one end of the internet to the other and find somebody wearing that shoe with some fit. And then there's Photoshop.
Right.
There's Photoshop.
Hey, look, different strokes for different folks. I couldn't understand the people who were taking like those photos back in the day where they're on a ledge and they don't let their feet touch the ground ever because they're literally going to sell them. So,
I mean, and them people ain't on IG no more.
Nope, they sure aren't.
Because the internet's found out
Yep.
and the internet swooped in.
Cancel culture.
Look at us coming full circle.
Rent at your own risk. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to the business for providing a service that clearly there is a market for, and rent at your own risk.
Yes.
Our audience is not geared towards the renters. Sorry.
No. Hey, but like, you know, perhaps if they come on and they explain, like, you know, where the business came from, just like the Tradeblock guys did, you know,
Right.
people might be interested.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I'm not knocking the business. It's a smart idea because, like you said earlier, it's like GameFly. If anybody knows the GameFly,
Yep.
they were for video games where you can rent, and they had different tiers. You could rent 1 game, 2 games,
Right.
3 games, different tiers, and you would pay. And you know, in the end, honestly, in that aspect for the games, it was better because you know you pay $60 for a game. Once you beat it, then what do you go to take it back to GameStop and they give you $5 for it.
They probably one of the ones that helped put GameStop out of business. Almost, really.
Yeah, so hey, figure out your lane and see where it go. Everything ain't for everybody, but they obviously got people who are using them. So
This is very true.
right. I mean, and in this time of posers, this is the perfect opportunity to pounce on something like that. Because I mean, you remember Lady J had asked me she wanted to borrow some of my sneakers for a photo shoot or whatever, and I was like, oh, like at that moment, I was like, oh, that could be interesting to make some money, but I personally don't want somebody effing up my shoes because they're not going to treat it like I treat it. You're going to be
Right.
creasing and everything else.
Right.
I'd be in the corner having a heart attack.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it.
But can't be
not ever letting go of anything. She's like,
if it's a piece of the market that can be made money from, I don't knock them at all one bit. I just want to know. Can I see you subscribe?
I want to understand it for the culture, you know?
Better not be none of y'all signing up. None of y'all in the chat neither. I'm telling.
Danny a snitch. Ladies, if you don't have anything else.
Yeah, this has been a very long episode. I mean, it was very necessary because the bulk of it was with the guys. And
yeah, I was gonna hit you guys up. I ended up having to work a lot more this week than I thought I was, but I was gonna hit you guys up to say there probably wasn't gonna be a need to have like all of our
stuff,
segments, but I mean, you know,
yeah,
I enjoyed the show.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I look forward to having them back. I look forward to seeing where they're gonna go. I know it's to the moon with them. We appreciate everybody for hanging in there with us.
We just got to do what we need to do to help support them.
Yeah, Q. Facts. I didn't want to talk about them trophy rooms. No more.
Yeah, nah. Q, we talked about the trophy rooms last episode. If you want to catch up on that conversation. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for everybody who stopped in, everybody who hit that like button. If you haven't, go ahead and leave right now. Click the like button and come back. We appreciate it. What else was I gonna? I don't know that we'll be back next Sunday, but we do have somebody slated to come on the show the first weekend or the first Sunday in March. So
if you're busy hella next Sunday and you don't want to do it, we don't have to. I was just thinking if we were gonna go next Sunday, we could just do like a Black History Month recap. Maybe just talk about the good and the bad things that happened during the month of Black excellence.
Now I don't work weekends, so we can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do something light. If anybody this opportunity, if anybody wants to hit us up with anything in within the Black History Month genre that happened, like any small businesses, Black owned businesses, stuff like that. Anything good, anything bad, hit us up. We want to do both sides of the scale.
That's it. My turn.
Don't forget about Q's show or episodes that she's doing.
Oh yes, yeah. Q, shout out in the chat. When's your next episode? I know you were spacing it out because of the pandemic and everything. You were spacing it out, but I believe she had the first episode already. So go back and watch that.
Absolutely.
Hopefully she'll throw in the chat when the second episode is going to be.
Yeah, it's called Our History Is Now. So make sure you guys go check that out.
Try and go gamble.
Oh yeah, and I am Hella Lace. Thank you guys for being here.
And it's your favorite customizer, Word Customs, trying to hit the casino. Tomorrow is me and Danny's 9-year anniversary. Can you believe I've been stuck with her for 9 years?
Maybe I'm better than sliced bread. Knock it off.
9 years of torture.
I made your life great. You smile every day because of me.
I smile because it keeps me from crying.
Yo.
Hit your outro, bro.
Yeah, hit the outro.
As you all know, I am Danny Nicole, aka Caramel Wonder. I do have a paper to write, so anybody that got some paper expertise, make sure you slide in my DM so you can write this paper for me. That's one. Two.
You paying? You paying?
Paying. It's for the free 99.
Oh no. Okay, go ahead. Finish.
I have also been working behind the scenes to revamp my website. So if you guys want to check it out, by DannyNicole.com, let me know what you guys think. If there's anything I need to tweak, if it's user friendly or not, let me know. Look at it on your computers and on your mobile devices and provide me any feedback. I've also uploaded some new products. I will be continuing to upload some new products throughout the week and next. I'm still doing socks. And I think that's it, right? We good? I think we are.
I think we good.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.